I'm Meg French, and my mother is Tish Woodruff, and she was diagnosed with leukemia. We went to the oncologist who said, take this medicine, you'll be fine by Christmas. This was in September. And once November rolled around, we realized she wasn't going to make it. And so at that point, we brought her into our house and turned our living room into her room. Decorated it for Christmas, put Christmas decorations and lights and everything out for her, and she passed away December 23rd, 2016. We were like sisters or best friends. I didn't have any sisters growing up, so she was it, and we did everything together, very close.
I was as close to Tish as my own mother. There were nights when Meg would go out and do something with her kids, and I'd take Tish out and dinner, just the two of us go out, so we were very close.
She was she was the matriarch of our family, and she kept everyone and everything together. So, it was just, all of a sudden, we were left without her, the person that, held us all together. So it was devastating. We didn't really have time to realize what was really going on. And it wasn't until after she passed away, even after the funeral and the burial, that all of a sudden it was just like we hit a wall. And my brothers and my kids and Bruce and I were just like, what do we do now? And then Becky Elam, she said, when I said, do you know, this is before I ever even looked online, I said, do you know of any places that can help, deal with the grief? And she said, oh yes, Faith and Grief.
I mean, we didn't know. There wasn't a lot of resources out there, and I talked to friends who had lost their relatives, talked to people at church, and there really wasn't a great source. And we went online, and it was kind of ironic that Meg and I came up with the organization independently. And then, so we signed up, and originally I was going to sign up Meg and her daughter Madeline, who was Tish's caretaker for the last 6 months. And but anyway, at the last minute, Madeline really wasn't ready, and so Meg was going to bail. And I said, no, I'll go with you, and I'll support you, and that kind of thing. So I went along with her, and but we found Mo Ranch independently, and but really didn't know what to expect. We just kind of went in blindly, just trying to grab something to hold on to kind of help through some of the grief.
I just typed in retreats, for people that were grieving, and I didn't want something real long. And so when we both happened to find it, it was almost like fate, I would say. It was beautiful. I mean, it was serene and quiet, and like Bruce said, there's no TV. What are we going to do?
We're going to have to talk to each other.
Yeah. And so it was, the setting was great. I think what I liked the most, or what I got so much out of it, was that it was okay to be sad. Everyone there was sad. I think every session that we had, I know I cried, and I think everybody else did too. And it was like, it's okay, because when you go to talk to someone just about the death of my mother, it was always, I would hold back the tears. But here, everyone said, cry. They had tissue out on the table, and they just said, let it out. And I think that's probably one of the things that I enjoyed the most, was just being able to cry and let it out and talk and know that all the feelings that I had were normal, and that so many other people were in the same position as I was in.
I mean, everybody had their own story, and they were similar, but after the funeral, after everybody kind of went back to their own work, the families are still really really still mourning, and there wasn't any relief or help. And just sitting at some of the other tables was listening, and some people, the relatives had passed away several years ago, but it was still very raw and very fresh, and realized that everybody had a similar experience, and but it was a great nurturing environment, and it was very well led. It was very structured, but at the same time it gave everybody, as Meg said, time to grieve and really kind of let it out.
We would sit with one person that worked with Faith and Grief at the table, and she would have everyone talk. And as we were talking, the lady that was leading it at our table, I just was talking about my mom. And I said, yeah, she was so active. She sang in the choir and she played bridge. And I guess she put two and two together and she said, wait, what was your mom's name? And I said, Tish Woodruff. She says, I know Tish Woodruff. I sang in the choir with her. So it was so strange that we went all that way. Faith and Grief was right here in Dallas in our own neighborhood.
I would recommend them to sign up for one of the retreats, and not only the retreats but the support groups here in Dallas, and I think that would be very beneficial.